So, as you guys are aware, at the time of me recording this video right now, I run a sales agency where I manage over 7 figures in sales per year. I train, manage, and recruit for some of the biggest businesses, offers doing 100K plus per month. And I interview a ton of setters and a ton of closers week in and week out, okay? And to be honest, guys, when I tell you the truth, acing interviews is a skill, okay? No matter how, what matters is how you perform on your roles, okay? Your appointment setting is a direct correlation of how you appointment set for your clients. So your appointment setting for yourself, you landing an offer or you landing a role, is a direct correlation for how you'd actually work for a setter. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here and give you any basic bitch info that you already know. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you information that, if applied correctly, with time, it will make it impossible for you not to be able to land roles, get interviews, work with big businesses, and actually start making an outrageous amount of money. A lot of the variables when it comes down to landing clients and landing sales clients are in your control, all right? First thing first is we've got your page. Okay, how your page looks, how optimized it is. I've got tons of videos on how to optimize your page, okay? I'll be able to walk you through it, or you guys can go through my page, okay? How your page looks. Is it professional? Not even professional, right? But do you look like the type of person that's a cool guy? Do you look like the type of person that someone would want to respond to you? Your outreach, okay? How does your outreach look like? What outreach message are you sending? How long is it, okay? Is it straight to the point? Is it what everyone else is sending? For volume, how many messages are you sending? You can have a good page and good outreach, but if you're only sending 5 messages a day, it's going to take you a lot longer to land a role and to get an interview than the person that's sending 50 a day, okay? So when it comes down to prospecting clients, there's 2 different ways, all right? And, when it comes down to finding businesses to offer your appointment setting services or even your closing services, okay, it can be done through a range of apps. However, my favorite one specifically is Instagram and School. And for all of you guys that don't know what appointment setting is essentially the act of finding clients to appointment set for. Again, you've got 2 ways. You've got the direct approach and you've got the indirect approach, okay? The direct approach is going towards a client and being like, hey, bro, yo, brother, are you opposed to working with a commission-based setter that's a stud? I'd love to offer you my services, okay? Can you see how that was direct, to the point? We showed the business owner exactly what it is that we're looking to do for them, and it's essentially a yes or no question that can filter into another conversation, okay? An indirect approach is, hey, or mess up the hey, because hey is silly, okay? But have you ever looked into a commission-based appointment setter, or is that something that you're not familiar with yet, okay? Notice how you're not straight to the point yet. Notice how with this message specifically, you're going to them from like an outsider point of view, not an outsider point of view, but you haven't laid out your intentions directly, specifically from the jump, and it's a more conversational basis. You're not pitching them something from the jump, okay? A load of these business owners get tons of these messages every single day. So sometimes a lot of business owners love the indirect approach. However, when it comes down to getting straight to the point and getting really snappy and being able to just run through as many messages as possible and be able to find that right offer, that direct message works a treat. Okay. Now, when it comes down to what type of messages to send, right? Some people are better to message directly. Some people are better to message indirectly. Okay, for instance, bigger accounts. If you message Eman Gadzi, or say if you went into appointment set for, I don't know, Andrew Tate, do you think if you sent an indirect message to Andrew Tate, even though it's probably not him managing his DMs anyway, but say if it was, or say if he did see the message, do you think if you sent an indirect message to Andrew Tate talking about cars, or talking about some random topic, that he'd speak to you, that he'd reply to you? No, he wouldn't, okay? These people don't have the time. They don't have, their status is already way too high in their minds to be communicating with people that aren't providing them value. So, of course, they're not going to reply to an indirect message, okay? So that's why whenever you send bigger, or whenever you're outreaching to bigger people and bigger accounts, you want to give them a direct message. A direct message that states what you're here, states what you do, states the type of value that you can provide, because then it's just a yes or no question. Or then they know exactly what it is that they want, and if it's something that they want now, or if it's something that they want later on down the line, okay? However, when it comes down to smaller accounts or people that don't have as much followers, indirect approach still works best. However, just depending on your style and depending on what you want to do, I definitely always do recommend the direct approach. And the reason I say that is because it's so easy to get straight to the point. You don't have to waste time, and you're able to genuinely just get through so many more conversations and actually filter people's interest so much quicker, okay? Now, here are some do's and don'ts when you're prospecting. First, we're going to start with the don'ts, okay? Whenever you're trying to prospect to find a client for your sales, your appointment setting, or your closing, number one thing is you don't want to send long paragraphs. I use the exact same analogy. Do you think Andrew Tate, or do you think Eman Gadzi has the ability or has the time or has the attention span, they probably have the attention span, but do you think they have the do you think they're going to put in the initiative to read a long ass paragraph that someone who they don't even know has just texted them? Even me right now, I've got about 2,000 followers on Instagram. If someone sends me a long ass paragraph in my Instagram DMs, I'm not reading it. I'm just not reading it. I'm leaving it because why am I reading that? Do you know what I mean? Like, people's attention spans are so small, okay, due to dopamine and etc. Like, sending a business owner, a busy business owner, a long paragraph is just asking to be able to, be like, just not answered. Second thing that I'd never do is sending a forced compliment, okay? It's so easy to tell if someone sent a forced compliment because they'll say something like, hey, I love your content. But meanwhile, they don't follow you. They've never followed you. And they've said that to every single other person that they've messaged. We have the 50 other people that they've messaged today. I'll never forget. I wish I'd be able to find the conversation. I remember the first person I ever really outreached for appointment setting and sales. I said, I love your content. And he sent me a voice note grilling me. He gave me some tips, and genuinely, he little broed the fuck out of me. And I really needed it. Genuinely, I remember this was like 2-3 years ago. And he said, oh, by the way, bro, I'd never pit someone on the first message. And secondly, don't say you love their content when you don't even follow them. Like, what do I even post about? And I was like, damn, that is so true. And I never made that mistake again. Like, sometimes you have to learn through, your own pain. But genuinely, never send a forced compliment or a message like, I love your content, because it screams basic, and it screams that, you've sent that to other people. Unless you actually really like their content, unless you really like and you can like talk about what you like about their content, then please talk about their content. But make sure the compliment is actually like meaningful and it's actually something that it's not just a forced compliment. You also never want to say, I've just came across your page. Okay, it's the other thing that every single new sales rep, new appointment setter, new closer does, and it just doesn't get you anywhere. You don't want to sound generic. Okay, you don't want to sound generic like every other person. Like, the biggest mistake that you can make is finding a message from someone or getting a message that you see online and sending that message. Okay, because that is how outreach messages become saturated. Okay, one person sends a good message and the next person says, you know what, I want to send that too. And now there's 2 people sending that and another person's going to see it and then they're going to copy it. What you need to do is you need to steal like an artist, which we'll go over that later. But you also never want to send a message that sounds like it's been copy and pasted to everyone. All clunky messages, right? But you never want to send a message that you can tell is no personalization. They haven't taken the time to type it out. They've literally just copy and pasted it and sent it to every other single person. Because these business owners, they're like women, okay? They want to feel heard. They want to feel special. They want to feel like you've taken the time out of your day to send them that message or to send them that Loom video, right? And finally, you don't want to make it hard for them to reply. It's like texting girls, like I said, right? Like, whenever you text someone, whenever you're texting someone on, like, especially business owners, if you make the message hard or too complex for them to respond, they're just not gonna see it as worthy enough to respond, and they're not gonna reply to you. You want to make it easy to respond, whether it's a yes or no question, or a question that allows them to talk, or a question that has a clear point that you're trying to reach, because then they're more likely to actually want to give you the time of day. No one wants to speak to people that make it hard for them to respond and they feel like it's a chore to speak to, okay? But here are some do's, right? You want to look through their page for some unique insights, okay? You want to look through their page for things that are unique to mention. For instance, like a recent post they just made. Okay, and make sure you're specific about what that post was. Don't just say your recent reel was facts, bro. But look through their following. Listen, bro, I noticed your boys with XYZ. I've been connected with his XYZ for a while. This breaks the ice and get that first reply, and then you want to pitch them that message. Okay, hey, bro, I noticed you follow XYZ. I noticed you follow this guy. What's something we can tie that down to? Hey, bro, I noticed you follow this guy. Seem to be into your I noticed you follow this guy. I agree with a load of the content that he posts himself and the messaging that he puts out. So I just wanted to send you a message and connect, bro. Might be a shot in the dark, but do you have a setter on your account at the moment? Okay, something like that. Well, it probably wasn't a good message. It probably was a long message, or not a long message. But notice how you're actually going through and you've actually been able to notice who they follow. Okay, say if they work with someone that you've worked with before. Like, say if they work with a previous client that you've worked with, or someone that you've been in talks with. Even better, hey, bro, notice you follow this guy. I was actually in talks with him. I had an interview with him for appointment setting role. I wanted to see if you're looking for an appointment setter too, bro. Would love to come in and smash it with you. Okay. Secondly, you want to make your message aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And the way you do that is you send it, like, you don't just send a long, clunky paragraph. You break it down and you make it short and easy to read. Okay? You want to take time and look through the page and see what you can comment about. Find common interests, okay? Common interests. You genuinely just need to be creative and spark curiosity. Like, you want to treat leads like you're talking to a girl. You want to make them excited. You want to make them excited to respond to you and make them actually feel motivated to speak to you. Okay, mentioning something interesting about who they follow or what's in their highlights works a treat. Okay, so if they post about, I don't know, fitness or some of their results, genuinely being able to compliment their results, but not in a forced compliment way, actually thinking of something from the heart and sending them that, they will be able to get the vibe and they'll be able to get the inkling that this is what's it called? This is authentic, and guess what? They'll want to work with you. Okay, so here's a decent message, right? Hey, bro. Your recent rule about the best ways to lose weight by I spelled weight wrong, by macro counting changed my perspective on a lot of my daily eating habits, bro. Are you managing your DMs yourself at the moment? Notice how you mentioned something specifically that you like about their content. You notice how specifically you mentioned something that you can tell you watched the video. You didn't just see a video and say, oh bro, this recent video was fact without even watching it. And it's actually something insightful and you're actually giving them feedback, okay? A terrible message would be, hey bro, I just came across, hey bro, I just came across your page and I really love your content. I think the videos you're posting are amazing. Are you currently working with a commission-based appointment setter? I can come into your business and help you book tons of calls and make tons of sales, okay? This message goes against every single point that I just messaged, okay? You're speaking about yourself. You've given them a false compliment and you've said that one just line that I don't know who came up with that just came across your page. And you can tell you've posted that. You can tell you've copy and pasted that to every single person that you've messaged, okay? Because it's so easy and that message is so simple. It's to the point where, no one's impressed. You can't be impressed by that message. A better message, if you were to compliment someone, is, yo, bro, I like the emphasis on your page about personal branding. It's true, personal branding right now is the main forward. I've been working as an appointment setter for a while now, man. Have you currently got a killer appointment setter that's booking you calls? Can you see how you've actually mentioned something about their page, what it's meaningful for? So you've taken the time to, even if you've read their bio, you know what they're about, okay? You've taken the time scrolling their page, and now you've got a fucking sick message. This is how you make an amazing message though when you're looking to get hired. You need to always have a reason, okay? Always have a reason for why you're messaging people. Genuinely, in sales, the only thing you need is context. As long as you're able to have context, you can really ask anything and you can have a reason to message everyone. And it's very easy to find a reason. Your main reason here is, listen, I saw you're posting content. I'm sure you'll get a ton of leads that come from there. I want to come in there and manage your deals for you and be an appointment setter. Or even better, I want to come in, manage your sales, your lead flow, and I want to come and be your closer, okay? Don't be basic. Don't be a basic bitch, okay? You need to think outside the box, man. You need to think outside the box, and you need to create the problem that they have, okay? Which is either lack of leads or lack of closed deals, and then you need to come in and you need to plug that hole for them. And where you're going to plug that hole is by coming in and being their sales rep, okay? One of my mentors is killing it right now with a commission-based appointment setter. Have you got one yourself? Or, yo man, have you gotten around to implementing a commission-based appointment setter or a commission-based closer to help you generate more revenue? One of my friends is doing it right now with his own clients and is killing it. I know you probably don't have the time to answer your DMs all day. That's why I'm here. Do you have a DM setter at the moment? Or I know you probably don't have the time to handle all of the leads that your content is generating. Do you have a closer at the moment? Notice how these messages, you've created a problem and you think outside the box and you've solved it. Okay, genuinely in sales, this is the number one way. Okay, prospecting like this is the number one way you are going to be able to find clients. And I'll even show you some examples, man. You want to think outside the box. I remember I messaged this big guy. I was like, hey bro, let's have a boxing match. If I win, I build your sales team. If I lose, I build your sales teams. He literally posted it on a story, which I found was hilarious because it showed that, all right, cool. I got his attention and I thought I was thinking outside the box. Think about how many other appointments and messages he was getting that day, or he just gets on a day-to-day basis. I came in, thought outside the box, and now look, landed him as a client. I didn't land him as a client, but I got his attention. Hey, brother, hope you've been well. Just looking to stay on your radar. No sales pitch. I build killer ops. If you ever need internal automations, I'll be in your corner. I just thought that was great. Straight to the point. Really wholesome, really good, direct message. And genuinely, if someone is looking for ops, sales ops, or whatever, they could go to that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's have a boxing match. If I win, I build your sales team. If I lose, I build your sales team. Amazing message. And the reason why it's amazing is because it's fun. It's interesting. It's outside of the box, and it's the type of message that makes someone think. So that makes someone think, all right, cool. This guy is actually funny. I want this guy on my team. Okay. As long as you follow these principles, as long as you follow the do's, you follow the don'ts, you will be able to find it so easy to prospect and land roles as a sales rep, as a closer, as an appointment setter. It doesn't really matter, or even as a sales manager. Okay. So go out there and crush it, guys. I'll see you soon.